name?
Hi, I'm Kevin Dobson with Margaret Fair. We've written a little story. Well, it's not so little. Once these emotions take off, you're going to live a life. We call it an experience. It's called Your Late Mother. It deals with this woman who gets a reprieve to spend another day on this earth, to not leave here with regrets. So it's arranged where she goes back to kind of restructure her fractured family, especially her two boys. She had lost her husband years before, and he's up there in the spirit world. And we have him evolving around the play. He moves around in hologram form until Maggie, our lead actress, she ends up in a confrontation with her sons, who are adults now. One without a filter in his life, and the other is more responsible because he has a daughter, the granddaughter, if you will, Stella. Stella was born legally blind due to a drug overdose by her drug-abused mother, who died on the operating table, and they had to take Stella, 2 pounds, 8 ounces. And Tim, her dad, dedicates his life to her, that she won't experience the pitfalls that he experienced growing up, because these two sons had to fall in line for themselves, build a life for themselves, and it ended up being negative with alcohol and drug abuse. But for Maggie, she started out her relationship as most people do in life, in a marriage full of love and ambition and dedication, and a family and raising kids and being the PTA mom and, you know, the woman in charge of snacks at the Little League field, always a party at the house, loving atmosphere and all. Well, I think that's enough for now. I'll tell you, that's most of the first act, where all this comes together before Maggie passes through to the next life, to be with her Jack, her former husband. And they have a beautiful relationship. But during the first act, all this gets exposed, and all those regressions come out, and all that angst and anger come out, so that they can have a loving relationship in the hereafter. The second act involves the boys and the granddaughter, along with Jack and Maggie in the spirit world, and how they affect their children and grandchild spiritually. But they can only be affected if they're in a very calm state, in a controlled state. You ever talk to anyone that you've lost, when you feel their presence around? That's what our play is. You're going to enjoy it. It's an experience. I'm going to show you a little something about the second act, the beginning of the second act, when Maggie and Jack enter that afterlife, some call heaven. They just float around, and Jack expresses himself in song, and Maggie is just thrilled, and they dance to a loving song. In fact, it's the only way Jack can express himself. You know how guys are, you know. They'll say one thing and hope you get the message. So with that, well, enjoy it. Look it up on your website, yourlatemother.com. Live in love. You have to keep in mind that this will be the beginning of the second act, scene 1. Under all of this, we're going to hear this music, especially during the first act. We're going to hear bits and pieces of guitar music that will lead into this song, Back in Your Arms. It's a beautiful rendition. Picture Maggie coming out on stage into a cloud-like atmosphere. Jack standing over, picking up a guitar and singing.
Glad you're back in my arms.
As he looks at her with all the love and admiration.
Glad my neglect caused no harm.
She responds to this in bewilderment. Why?
I must have been nuts to let you go.
This is the only way you can speak. It's a guy's song.
That you're the love of my life, I'll try to show.
It's the only way he can express himself. She loves it.
I'm not good at staying by the fire, even though
flowing around dancing.
So try to understand,
It's
not you that makes me crawl inside like I do.
You know, we're guys, we don't express ourselves. Now he joins her in a dance. They start to reminisce a waltz. They float around the heavens, from one side of the stage to the next. In white, she's in flowing gown, as beautiful as she can be. And he's a gentleman she's always pictured. And they pick up the pace, and they float. And on the side wall where we have the water, there's a screen of them in close-up, totally in love, enmeshed in their wonderful dreams, that the way they started out. They got off.
I'm not good at staying by the fire, even though you are my desire.
See her?
So try to understand, it's not you that makes me crawl inside like I do. This love of mine never bends, and through all these years it never ends.
Love. It's all love.
I can't imagine a world without you. I want no part of that world, exclude me too. I'm not good at staying by the fire, even though you are my desire. So try to understand, it's not you that makes me crawl inside like I do. I'm glad you're back in my arms.